So this is something that I want to show you for just a moment, which is a working safe lock. And it's my design and it works with every possible code. Well, I mean, there are 8 directions in an item frame, and I thought, I could use this as some kind of sign. Also, my screen is glitching. I'm just gonna turn off my shaders. Okay, that's better. So the technology behind this is pretty simple. You have some registers that actually remember your code that you give, and they will compare it to the code that is already inside of it. So as you see, I already just did a very simple 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And when we look at the item frames, we have 8 over here, 7 here, 6 here, 5, and so forth until it's 1. So I was thinking, how about I teach you how to make it? And this can be used for so many possibilities. So let's get to it. First, you want to set up your item frame, which is obviously going to be on a wall. Going to get some nice blocks for that. I forgot it's right here. Alright. Just gonna make it a little fancy. And I also want my redstone lamp. There we go. So to start off, we need a redstone compounder, redstone dust, a redstone torch, a redstone repeater, a observer, and your block of choice. I'm going to use purple wool. So first you start out with a comparator coming from the redstone lamp. So when you twist it, the signal strength changes. So in this case, when you put it right here, it's going to be 8. And when here, it's going to be 1. So now what you want to do is go over here, put a observer over here, then have a redstone repeater on 2 tick. That's very important. You can put it on 3 tick or 4 tick, but it's best on 2 tick. Then you put a redstone signal strength multiplier, which is just making the signal what passes through a lot longer, and this will be how it looks. So it slowly fades out until it's 0. So let's keep that, because I have it over here. Well, it's just a little different, but it doesn't matter. So now what you want to do is start making your registers. So I'm going to do that right now. I might speed up the process because this is just building the same thing over and over. So just for reference, this is your first register. All 3 comparators have to be with subtract mode, and redstone has to be here and here. This comparator has to go into this block and this one into this block. This one is in the same direction as this one. So you have to take this whole thing and stack it 7 times, or depending on the length of your code. I'm actually going to do world edit if I still know how to use it. Pretty sure I know how. And then I just have to yep, there we go. We don't really need this block over here. Now, what you need to do is have some blocks right below those computers. So not like here, but here, okay? So now let's put those here. And then we want a line. This is going to be called our shift line. And then we want redstone on each of these comparators. Well, better said, not those, but only those. Not the comparators going in this direction, but only for the comparators going in this direction. So now, let's put some redstone on the other comparators. Now, we need to put repeaters that go into those. And to finish that off, we need to put some blocks on top of the redstone. This will avoid further interference. Then what you need to do is put torches right here, like right next to this block, okay? There we go. Very good. And now you put redstone on top of this. But now we have to count to 15 because otherwise our signal strength will run out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Put a repeater into this block. You don't really need this. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Good. Now we have to take this redstone signal over here. Let's see how I can do this. Probably with... Yeah, I'm just gonna put it here. Okay, so let's put repeater right here. So block over here, repeater on it, 1 tick. A torch coming out of this block, so when this repeater turns off, this torch will turn off. Repeater 1 tick, and redstone over here. Oh, right. Let's redirect that using a lever. So using this lever, this redstone is not going to turn off this redstone torch. And by the way, do not turn this on. So now we're going to take this redstone and actually send it to this repeater over here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's perfect. And I think, yep, I actually forgot. This is the inverse, so actually we have to put a redstone torch over here, which is not a problem. We can fix that. Just gotta be a little smart over here. Like this. Put your torch right over here, so it's off because the redstone goes into this block over here. And then you put a block on top. So when the torch turns on, the rest of the redstone turns on too, as you can see. Good. Now, let's see what happens. So whenever you don't tickle the item frame, it'll eventually drown out and it will shift the input you have right here into this register over here. What this register has saved will go into this register and so on until it hits this one. This doesn't have any other register, so whatever is inside of this will go lost. Now what you need to do is put some repeaters on the side of those comparators. And you make a line again. And I just counted to 15 by the way. So make sure to put a repeater right here. So those are 1, 2, 3, 4 repeaters, and after those you have 2 redstone dots and then this one over here. Now this is just going to be enough. Then, what we're going to do is add some more pulse lengtheners. This will be the mechanism of when you eventually don't finish your password entry, and the machine will think, oh, are you no longer entering your password? Sure, we'll reset the whole thing. So that's what this mechanism is going to do. So we're going to make the same thing like right there. This is called a rising, actually no, it's called a falling edge monostable circuit. There we go. And same thing. There we go. So now we need to connect this up to that thing over there. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, my mouse is glitching a bit. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And I'm just going to connect it up just like this. There we go. So I'm going to show you in action. This is what happens when you don't enter your password anymore. Actually, what just happened? Alright, that's because I put those in the incorrect configuration. So make sure when you're making those that you have comparator. This one always going into a block. One of them always has to go in a block with a redstone dust at the side, which goes into the other comparator again. That's what's really important about those. So let's try it again. So as you can see, this drowns out, and then the next one drowns out, and eventually it'll reset the whole system because the machine assumes that you stopped entering your password. Good. Now, on to the next thing, is when you finish your password, this register will have a value bigger than 0. This means that we also have to delete everything inside. Because then the machine knows that we're actually done with entering our password. Doesn't matter if it's correct or incorrect, it will always delete what's inside. So, let's put this one on 4 tick. Block here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Put a repeater here. I'm gonna put up a 4 tick. Just gonna put this one, and that one on 4 tick. So now, what we need to do is actually make the system that checks if our password is correct. Now, I should have seen this coming, but I have to remove some stone over here. So please let me do this for a moment. Alright, we're all done now. So now we're going to make the system that checks if our password is correct. So now, come down here, put a redstone right beneath this block, so where this comparator goes into, and this one too. So we have that redstone over there. Then what we're going to do is have a comparator over here. I think that should be, because I do remember kind of how I did this. Yep, okay. So we're going to put a comparator over here. Subtract mode. And basically just have to do the same for all the other 7. And I'm not going to stack this time, just to show you how you can do this. So do not forget to put all of those on subtract mode, that's very important. And also keep in mind to put redstone on top of that block. And there we go. Done. Now, what we need to do is have blocks right over here. And just for being sure, the amount of this has to be A. Always. Now put blocks behind those comparators. They don't matter if they are in subtract mode or not, because they won't be affected by anything. Because they are the ones affecting those over here. So now let's take our item frame again. And put our torches inside. Or any other item that's pretty directional. So not like a block, because this looks like this. Or this looks like this. So just use something that is like stick shaped, so you know which direction it's going in. But for now, let's not touch those item frames. Let's keep them this way. Now what you need to do is put redstone right over here. And this also counts for all 7 other comparators. Oh right, I do have to say this actually had to be 1 block up. Sorry. Pretty easy fix. All you need to do is just put this 1 block higher and it'll be fine. Hey. Ooh. There we go. This will work. I redirected the torch a bit, so it's no longer going that way, it's more like going this way, and then this wire is taking over. Good. Now, what we need to do is make sure that, yes, we were doing those redstone dusts right here. Make sure to block off those redstone dusts from those, because if you don't, they'll interfere. Again, I'm not doing the stacking thing because it's kind of stupid. Especially in a tutorial. There we go. Now, next thing you want to do is go over here and basically do the same thing. So, first we had this block, now we have to do this block over here with a redstone dust on the bottom. But as you already see, we already placed blocks over there, so all you need to do is just put dusts on top. Now, some of you may be concerned that this dust changes the output of this comparator, which is actually not true, because the comparator prioritizes the signal strength of this thing over here, which I am going to prove. 3, 15. Okay, I might have missed. Okay, that's weird. Right. Okay, that's weird. Weird. Okay, I've come up with a very easy change, which is removing those comparators and putting them somewhere else. And there we go. And then you just put blocks over here. Hey. You put some comparators over here. Doesn't matter if they're subtract mode or not. And then you put item frames on a block behind those. Make sure to fill the item frames with your item of choice. Good. Now we are doing the redstone below the block over there. It's going to connect, so please block that off or else it'll interfere. There we go. So now we have 8 of those. We need to put comparators over here. Put those on subtract mode and make sure that they're facing into this block with this redstone behind. Now I'm kind of gonna change this again, but it's just a minimal one. Just gotta make sure that this is fine. There we go. So now what you want to do is have a block behind every comparator and have a item frame behind that block. Pretty sure my first theory about the comparators does apply on this case. I'm just gonna test it. Please be true. Okay, just great. But it's like non-directional, so what? Oh, okay, good. We can fix this thing by just making sure that the redstone is not like this, but like this. So I have the redstone not in this 4-directional state, but like a dot. There we go. Okay, now put your torches into this, or whatever. I just really like torches. Good. Now we got that out of the way. We have to take the output of those and put all those into an OR gate, because this is going to be the end result if your code is equal or different to the code that's saved inside the item frames. So now make sure to put repeaters, not torches, repeaters, coming from the dust. Oops. Now make one line that connects all of them. And now have a redstone line going all the way to the last repeater. Don't forget your signal strength repeaters. Now the reason why I put lamps at this torch is because this is going to be the thing that blinks when you got your code correct. Now this is a part where you actually have to configure your chosen code into those item frames. So the way I like to do it is just to think of your code, which is going to be 8 of those directions, and you have to insert those into the 2 item frames for 1 memory cell. So I'm just going to do the same as the demonstration one, which is just going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 to 8. So this one is already 1, let's be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Same thing goes for the other item frames, which are here at the back. And we're just going to keep this one at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Good. So now what we need to do is actually just test if it works. Because something could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that it's not. So let's begin with 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And as you can see, we have our blank. This means that the code we entered is correct. Now, you may be asking, why didn't it tick and why didn't this lamp blink? Well, that's just a little fanciness. If you really want it, I can show you how to make it. So, first start off with a repeater over here, facing into this block, because when the repeater turns on, the lamp will also turn on. Now, what you also want is a note block, and this one is actually completely up to you. You can choose this one to be a snare, or a hat, or a kick, or anything that a note block can give. I'm just going to have one small tick, otherwise it's a little too annoying for me. Alright, now I got this over here. You want to use this line to pass over to this over here. So what we're going to do is have a redstone dust over here. So it goes into this torch over here. We want a repeater. Oh. Doesn't matter if this redstone is a dot or not. And then we'll safely pass this on top of our pulse lengthener, extender, whatever. And now it's going to notify us when it's ready. I don't know why the note block didn't work. Pretty sure that it's just a... Okay, I think this has to be 4-directional. Yep. Okay. So now it's going to notify us with the light and the sound that it's ready for our next part of the code. And so now it's almost done. We just need one more indicator, which is when it's resetting. So to do that, I'm going to use a kick drum, which uses rock, or actually, yeah, it's stone. I have this funny language filter on my Minecraft. It's pretty funny. So we just have to take this signal over here. Pretty sure this present signal finishes. I mean, reaches 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, that reaches. So it's pretty easy to line this one up. So whenever it resets, doesn't matter if it's because of our password finishing or us not wanting to enter a password anymore, it's going to reset our entry. Good. Now we're going to use this signal over here to open a door. It's going to be a very easy door. It's just going to be this. This is how you build another pulsing there. Oh, hey. And now what I want to do is take this redstone torch and use that signal and pass it onto this pulse link there. Of course I can do this, there we go. And now we should be done. So now let's try it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. And now we can find our safe and approach our precious items or whatever you want to put into a very secured storage. So that's it. Pretty sure this works on most versions of Minecraft, although with the redstone thing that I just encountered, like this thing over here, pretty sure it works on Legacy Edition. But that'll be it. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you learned. I'll see you next time. See ya!